I-35, this is southbound at Owen Tech in North Austin. This is just north of a deadly crash involving a semi-truck and more than a dozen cars. More than 7 hours since the incident, and southbound lanes are still shut down. Law enforcement expects the main lanes to remain closed for several more hours. We continue our breaking news coverage on a KVUE Plus this morning. I'm Rob Evans. Kelsey Sanchez is live off of I-35 right now. You've been there for, well, about 4 hours now, Kelsey. Are there any indications? I see some of the cars moving now, but that's not on the main part of the highway.
That's right, Rob. The frontage lanes are open here, but the main lanes on the southbound that we're worried about, those will remain shut down for hours, as law enforcement did say. And crews are still on scene. Nothing really has changed other than the fact that some crews have left, but the crashed cars, they're smashed in, they're still on scene, the semi-truck. And what we know so far is that this crash did happen just before 11:30 last night in the southbound lanes of I-35 in North Austin near Palmer Lane. Now, officials did say that 17 vehicles were involved, including that semi-truck. And when crews got here, they say several people were pinned to their cars. So you can imagine the magnitude of this crash. 17 people were injured and 11 were taken to the hospital, including 3 children with potential life-threatening injuries. We did talk to a woman who said she was parked and she heard the whole thing.
This is really scary, really sad. There's a lot of fatalities. I heard so far that there was 4, and I honestly, I've said so many prayers tonight just because this is really sad. And I-35 is so dangerous. A car, nobody ever drives the speed limit, you know. Everybody's always all over the place.
Now, officials did say that diesel fuel spilled from the truck involved in the crash, and they were able to contain it, but there will be a cleanup crew to clear it up once this investigation is wrapped up. But officials did say that I-35 Service Road and I-35 proper north of Palmer Lane are closed, and again, they're going to remain closed until they clear this up. And right now, we don't know if anybody will be arrested or charged for this wreck, Rob.
But Kelsey, right now, there's no one there cleaning it up. Right now, there's just an investigation right there, officers out there that are taking measurements and taking pictures. Is that what's happening right now behind you?
Yeah, that's right. Again, these lanes are moving really quickly, but again, the southbound lanes are the ones that we're worried about. And again, like I just said, the traffic is going to be at a standstill, so you're going to have to seek alternative routes. And officials are encouraging anybody just to avoid the area entirely if you can this morning.
All right, good advice right there, Kelsey. Thank you very much. We also have a weather impact alert today and tomorrow, as there is a high risk for wildfires. However, I believe right now we're going to go to traffic right now because things are looking really rough out there. I-35 southbound. What can you tell us, Jordan? What are some get-arounds?
Yes, we've got a couple of get-arounds, Rob. And again, it is just gridlock from the site of the accident all the way back to the 45 tollway. And as we take a look here, some of your alternate routes, if you're coming in from Round Rock and Georgetown this morning, you're going to want to take 45 west to Mopac. And then Mopac's starting to get a bit of a slowdown. That's a lot of people getting around that accident on its way to 183. And then eventually you're going to take 183 back down to 35 southbound headed towards downtown. Another way you could go is if you come down 35 to the 45 tollway, you would take the eastbound 45 tollway all the way to the 130 toll loop right by that shopping mall and by Typhoon, Texas, and then take that all the way down to 290 and then take 290 west just east of Manor all the way to 35 right near where the split is between the upper and lower levels, and you'll be able to make your way downtown that way. We do have a couple of issues also popping up, including one right up the street from where we are at KVUE, as well as another incident on 183 southbound just by Lakeline Mall on the map, really lighting up. But again, we're really tracking this serious situation in North Austin, and officials expect that place to be closed for hours.
All right, thank you very much. Now, we also, like we were talking about earlier, have a weather impact alert day. Today and tomorrow, high risk for wildfires in central Texas. Things are calm over downtown Austin, but the winds are expected to pick back up. KVUE meteorologist Jordan Darensburg doing double duty right now, joining us with the details of the fire danger. Jordan.
Yes, Rob, and let's now talk about that heightened fire risk, not just for today, but for tomorrow as well. Those strong winds and low humidity values are bringing that extreme fire danger to portions of Central Texas. So please, please, please do not burn anything outside. If you are in, whether or not you're in a burn ban or not, do not burn anything outside, and go over your fire plan and know where to go in case you have to evacuate, especially since almost all of Central Texas, with the exception of Fayette County, is under a red flag warning from noon to 9 for today. And that's because gusts could get up to around 25 miles an hour here locally and even 30 miles an hour in some sections of the hill country. But as we take a look at your forecast for today, we expect highs getting to the upper 80s with that southwesterly wind at around 14 miles an hour. Not as hot as where we were for today, but again, we are going to be getting to the upper 80s. I meant yesterday where we had 93 and we broke a daily heat record, but mid 70s for tomorrow behind that front, but even higher fire weather dangers for most of Central Texas as well before things do improve by the time we get to St. Patrick's Day. And I'm also tracking Wednesday for, again, elevated fire weather concerns.
All right, thank you much. And before it is too late, think about having a bag ready to go in case you need to evacuate. Think about packing for 3 days. Your bag should include copies of important documents, a first aid kit, extra medications, a change of clothes, and water. Well, Austin City Council will discuss the rules around the Wildland Urban Interface Code later this month. Now, this creates guidelines so that businesses or homes that are next to wildlands are protected from the next wildfire. According to a presentation from the Austin Fire Department, Council will consider expanding that zone that would be considered at risk from wildfire damage. Now, Mike Drew is the co-owner of Next Custom Homes, and he says the city's codes could raise the cost when it comes to building fire-resistant homes.
You know, we have metal roofs, we have stucco siding, we have non-combustible wood, and all of these things are necessary. So finding the right materials and the approved product has probably been our biggest challenge since it began here.
Now, Council is expected to discuss expanding the at-risk zone on March 27th. And in case you're curious, you can check your neighborhood's wildfire risk on Austin's wildfire risk map. I mean, here's a quick glimpse at it, rather. It's kind of scary when you're looking out to the west there. This is on KVUE.com, but I know you got to be kind of curious if you're living out there in the hill country. And we are continuing breaking news coverage, of course, on KVUE Plus this morning. We're going to recap the deadly crash on I-35. It's near Palmer Lane. It happened just before 11:30 last night. We can tell you that 5 people were killed. 11 people were taken to the hospital. Southbound lanes are still closed right now. We're going to go back to Kelsey Sanchez live off I-35. Any indications right now when the lanes will be reopened? Kelsey.
Good morning, Rob. Well, if you're just joining us, not much has changed, and those lanes will remain closed for several hours. But like you said, 5 people, including a baby, died in this crash. So can you imagine the magnitude of what happened just before 11:30 last night? It involved multiple vehicles and a semi-truck on the southbound lanes of I-35 in North Austin near Palmer Lane. Now, we do know that frontage lanes are open right now, and again, 17 cars were involved, including that semi-truck. And when crews got here, several people were pinned to their cars, 17 injuries, 11 people taken to the hospital, including 3 children. So as you can imagine, many people just hurt, families and loved ones dealing with this tragedy this morning. But if you are going to be commuting this morning, that's another factor to take in on your morning commute. These will be several lanes closed. And again, we don't know if anybody will be charged or arrested for this crash, but just, be mindful this morning, and just because of the magnitude and what caused this crash, the deaths that happened, just be very mindful this morning and drive slow and take all the cautions that you can this morning. Rob?
Kelsey, I don't know if you can hear me, but can you look behind? I can't quite see behind where the wreck is, but are there still cars stuck behind those wreckages, or have they rerouted all the people on 35 who were stuck behind this crash?
Gotcha. Well, what we see here, like I'm saying right here, frontage road, people are allowed to move. But again, there is a standstill on the southbound lanes. But the cars that were involved in the crash are still here. They're smashed, they're crushed in. So they're probably still trying to investigate anything else they can, because we still don't know what caused this crash, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to narrow down.
All right, Kelsey Sanchez live on scene there. I-35 southbound. Avoid that area. It will be shut down for several hours for sure once they get the investigation done, because again, several people were killed, 5 killed, including at least 1 child. We do know 11 people taken to the hospital. So there's an investigation. Then once the investigation wraps up, then they can clean up the diesel fuel spill that has been, again, spilled. That's going to take several hours as well. So I-35 southbound, if you're in Round Rock, Pflugerville, Hutto, I-30 eastbound, you can go to Mopac westbound, whatever it is, do not go anywhere near I-35. We'll stick around on KVUE Plus because Daybreak will continue. We'll see you next time.